Madini Mazimba. It's proud Zimbo, yeah, back again. So music has been a part of my life since way back. I remember Chirikamfana, every holiday we would go to Mtari for the holidays. And when we were there, there were these two brothers of mine. There was Teach and Kuda. Now these guys would get into sort of a lyrical battle. Teach loved Asha, Kuda loved Mace. So like each and every Saturday, when we watch Cock on the Beat, we would sit down and watch these guys get into this battle, and we'd hope that each and every episode of the show, they would play either or both of these guys. So it was really fascinating for me, it intrigued me, and I think that's where my love for international music kind of started. But also on the other hand, as a 90s kid, I think I was fortunate enough to grow in a period whereby ZTV was fun to watch. We would definitely look forward to watch ZTV, and because of then, there were a lot of entertaining shows in terms of music. The three best were Afrobeat, Ezem and Cock on the Beat. So I would watch all of these shows, and over the years I got accustomed to certain number of local tracks which really made my childhood worthwhile. I would sing along to these tracks, I would dance to these tracks, and even right now, when I listen to these tracks, they bring back a lot of good memories. So today, I'll be giving you 10 tracks. I just thought of 10 at the moment, 10 tracks that really made my childhood. Maybe they're the same tracks that made your childhood, I don't know. But hey, stay tuned and watch. Now, the first track I'm going to talk about is Kushamula Newe by Extra Large. Now, this is an amazing track. I loved this track when it came out. I think it came at the period where, the early 2000s, at the period where the urban grooves movement was kind of like gathering momentum. And this track really topped the charts. It received a lot of airplay, and a lot of people loved it. Because Extra Large came with a new style of music. I think their music was very socially conscious, but at the same time it was quite funny, and the way it was made, it appealed a lot to the younger generation and even to the older generation. So these guys were amazing. They really played a big part in changing the music scene in Zimbabwe, and I loved their tracks. They had a lot of amazing tracks, Wafawanaka, they have Uri Roja, but for now I would choose Kushamula Newe. Next track is one track which comes from one of the pioneers of the urban groups movement, and it's Tauya Naye by David Chifunyise. Now this is another fantastic track. This track dominated the radio, dominated the charts, and a lot of people loved it. I think the theme of the track was on point. The video was also on point. I think the way they just structured the song was just amazing, and I could sing to this track word to word. It's just that good. And even to this day, every time I listen to this track, it brings back a lot of memories to me. And I think a lot of people will remember David Chifunyise for this song. Yeah, he may have heard other tracks, but this is the track that made the David Chifunyise that we know. So it's really an amazing track, and I think for a number of you, it's one of the tracks that really made your childhood also. Now, the next track is In My Dreams by Innocent Utsiwegota. Now, this is another brilliant track. When the track came out, it destroyed the charts. It got a lot of airplay. It was being played everywhere you go. But to me, I think one of the most why this track was so significant is the fact that, that's the first time I saw two Zimbos kissing on a video, and it was just amazing. It just blew my mind. Imagine Urkamfana, and you just watching the TV and you see guys kissing, like, wow, really? They just did that. So it was amazing, and it really played a big part in my childhood. I love that track, and still today, it's one of the classic tracks that have been released during the urban grooves movement. It's an amazing track. The next track now, this track is a bit older than the ones that I've said before, and it's the track by Somerai titled Mudiwa Wangu. And I believe this is definitely one of the best ever love songs made in Zimbabwe. I think a lot of you know it as Newe. Mudiwa fungwa zangu. So that's an amazing song. And that track, during the days, growing up, it was the track that the older guys would be dedicating and singing to their girlfriends. So it was really good. It was really fascinating seeing people sing that to their girlfriends, and the reactions that would just follow. It was just amazing. So it became one of my favorite tracks, and it's easy to sing along. It's quite simple, straight to the point, and very amazing. So it's another track that really made my childhood. It's an awesome track. Now the next song is Wangu Ndega by Muparutsa. Now this is another amazing song. This is another classic. And this track, the thing that made this track really significant in my life is that, I think for all of you who know this track, I think the last verse of the track, where it's like, Shandisa condom, my goodness, that part to make me cringe, to make me hide away, I think I would just, I'm dining, just running away from that part. So it was quite funny. But the other thing is that I love this track. But then towards the end, I'll be like, you know what, I should go out. You know what, even Ndega moms, you'll be like, yeah, I think this is now time to go to the toilet or stuff. You know, just trying to run away from that last verse. But regardless, this is an amazing song. Also easy to sing along. And I think it's one of those tracks that made Fortune Muparutsa an icon that he became. So it's another brilliant track. And it definitely made my childhood. The next track is Kanyama Karipi by Assegai crew. Now this track just made me laugh every time I watched the video and listened to the track. It was quite funny. It's still a funny track even to today. I think this is the track that really made Assegai crew known, and then they disappeared afterwards. I don't know where they went. But this is one of the most brilliant tracks. I think in terms of humor, it's quite humorous. And it's quite fun. It has this nice reggae feel to it. And the track really made my childhood. You know, I would wait for Ezomgido. Even every time the track come, I would be singing along to this track. You know, it was quite funny. You know, Kanyama Karipi. And I think on the video, there was this time you know what, with these guys, then he goes home, then what he finds in the pot, it just makes him angry. I think even if it was me, I would just get angry. But you know what, and I'm coming here and this. So it was quite funny for me, and I love that track. And it's another amazing track. So this next track comes from a guy who won me over merely by his dances, and that's Taso with the track Paunondipfimba. Now, you know what, Taso had his moment, and at that period, he was quite like at the top. I think he was he had one of the most played videos on Ezomgido, and even Cock on the Beat. I think he released another track which is very popular, titled Toa Kama Zimbabwe Mfana. You know what? It goes something like that. But for today, I checked the track Paunondipfimba. It's another track. I loved his dances. I think for anyone who remembers Taso, I think his dances are the most significant thing about him. I think his music, you may forget, but everyone will remember him for his dances. They were just amazing dances. And every time he would come on TV, I would try to imitate, and I was quite good at it. I was quite very good. Next track is Hupenyu Mutoro, by one of the best lyricists in Zimbabwe, Leonard Zhakata. Now this track came out in the 90s, and then I did not even know what this track meant or how deep the lyrics go. I just loved the fact that, you know what, the video, Leonard Zhakata will be like dressed like Michael MJ, you know what, with that hat, and the way he dressed, you know what, that belt, it was just amazing. I loved him. I loved the way he oozed class, you know what, in that track, you know what, doing the Zora dances. It was just an amazing track. And the easy to sing chorus, Hupenyu Mutoro, with no idea of what he was singing about. So it's just one of those tracks that really made my childhood. I loved it. I loved to dance to the track. And one other thing I loved is that the instrumental on this track was amazing, especially the first part, you know what, when the bass was coming in. I used to sing that with my mouth every time. I will not be doing that here, you know, no. But I used to love that. So it's another amazing track that really made my childhood. And the last track I'll be talking about today is Machira Chete by Charamba. Now, Charamba, you know what, growing up, as for myself, I'm speaking for myself, I think he contributed 75% of all the gospel tracks I knew at that moment. And Machira Chete, I choose that track because, you know what, during those days, I think the AFM Marsh West, they would come like in my wood and they would camp there. So we would go to the conference, and each and every Saturday of that conference, Charamba would come and he would perform. So when this track was released, I think the following conference, Machira Chete was the most requested track, and he played it and we danced like crazy, you know what, Uruwa, Sumuka, everywhere. And after that, this track just stuck with me. Every time I hear this track, I just think of that moment, those good times. So it's another amazing track. So yeah, those are the tracks that really made my childhood. I think those are the tracks that I managed to think about. Now, you know what, sometimes you just forget about these tracks, but then you may come across certain word or certain stuff that may remind you. But at the moment, these are the 10 tracks that really made my childhood. If I think of any more tracks, I'll just make a new video and tell them to you. So, you know what, feel free to comment with the tracks that really made your childhood below. I'd love to know those local tracks that really made you go crazy, that really made you sing along. or that really made you know what you'd coming to the house running just to catch a glimpse of that track. And also don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you again next